Great roast chicken should be in the arsenal of any good cook. You want crisp and flavorful skin, moist and juicy meat, and you want to fully cook the thighs without overcooking the breast meat. In this video, I'll share our recipe for the ultimate roast chicken with all of the tips you'll need for delicious results every time. So first you want to start with a high quality chicken, which is what I have here. You want to look for a chicken that doesn't have any additives or injected flavorings. An organic or a kosher chicken is always a tasty choice. Now to help the chicken brown and crisp up, it's a good idea to rub it all over with some kind of fat. This can be as easy as rubbing it with olive oil. If you want to impart some additional flavors to the bird, such as herbs, you can rub a flavored butter underneath the skin. Just make sure that your butter is nice and softened so you can rub the butter evenly all over the meat. All right, now that our bird is nice and oiled up, I'm going to sprinkle it all over with kosher salt and black pepper. And you want to be sure to get inside the cavity when you're seasoning the chicken. Okay, now I'm going to flip it over and tuck in the wings behind the neck. And then loosely tie together the legs with a piece of kitchen twine. This helps the bird to keep a nice compact shape so that it cooks evenly. Now, if you usually save your roasting rack for Thanksgiving, you're going to want to pull it out for roast chicken. A rack helps to hold the bird up off the bottom of the pan, allowing air to circulate all over the chicken. That means you get a nice, evenly browned bird. So I'm actually going to start cooking my chicken breast side down. This is going to allow all of the juices to gather in the breast meat during the first half of cooking. Later on, I'll flip it over and allow the juices to redistribute, but there'll be plenty of moisture left in that breast meat. Your chicken will roast more evenly if you let it sit out at room temperature for about 30 minutes before it goes in the oven. I've been heating my oven at 450 degrees. You want to roast your chicken at a nice high heat. That's going to help it to brown up quickly and keep the skin nice and crisp. After you've been roasting your chicken for 30 minutes, it's time to turn it over. So there's two ways you could do this. You can insert a pair of tongs into the cavity and use the tongs to flip it over, or you can wad up 2 paper towels and use them to grab hold of the chicken and give it a flip. You'll notice that there are some marks here on the skin from the rack. These are going to pop back out as it continues to roast. So I'm going to put the chicken back in the oven and keep roasting until the chicken's cooked all the way through. The most important tip for getting roast chicken right is not to overcook it. So an instant read thermometer can be your best friend. Now oven temperatures can vary, so you want to pay more attention to the reading on your thermometer than to the time that's listed in the recipe. You want to take the thermometer in the deepest part of the thigh, insert it in facing inwards towards the chicken instead of outwards, and you want to make sure that it's not touching any bone. I'm looking for a temperature of 165 to 170 degrees. This looks perfect. When the chicken's done, the juices should also run clear with no trace of pink. Now the last step is to let the chicken rest. I'm going to transfer it to a cutting board and loosely tent it with foil. You want to let the chicken rest for at least 15 minutes. This is going to allow all of the juices to redistribute, giving you moist and tender meat.